What's up, DBs? Coach D Magic here, former D1 defensive back. We're gonna go over some New York Jets DB drills. Make sure you go to thedbnetwork.com. Most of these drills we're going to talk about are in our DB Mastery program, but there's one drill that is an absolute must for safeties that is not in the DB Mastery program. So if we take it back, we've done this before. All right, W drill, back pedal brake, okay? The keys here, all right, because it's going to be a quick W, quick tight feet, good 1-2 brake. Make sure our pads are low, our shoulders are low. We brake within our Madden circle, our frame. We try to keep our chin tucked so that our body is facing the direction we're braking. Finish with the ball, all right? If you're a dad, if you're a parent, if you're a coach, okay, it could be a tennis ball, it could be a football. You want to try to have some type of finish, all right, some type of finish to the drill, so we're always working multiple skills. Pedal, 1-2 brake, all right. Good arm activation here, good hand activation here, just like a sprinter. If we're sprinting, we got to use our hands. Can't have dead hands out of our brake. Keep our shoulder pads low, keep our chin tucked. Everything is moving towards the brake. Good, efficient brake here. Now, this is a must, I would say. Everybody's doing this. So I went to the Cardinals practice. I went to the Commanders practice. I went to the Seahawks practice, and they're all working this. They're all working stacks and bunches and practical stuff. They don't get a lot of sophisticated indie in the NFL and training camp because you got to be ready to play games in like 2 weeks, right? So you got to focus on the IQ of it. So they're just working on two receivers being close, okay? And I would say, man, cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4, right? We would end up taking this receiver. So I always have to tell guys, right? Don't cover grass. Cover the last receiver in your zone. If it's cover 1 and we're working in and out, all right? We have a safety here, a nickel here, working in and out, okay? If he goes out, we take him. If he goes vertical, we take him. All right? Number 2 goes away, we match this. Okay? Again, if this is cover 4, we match it. I think in cover 3, we would take this as well. This is the last vertical in our zone. If it's cover 2 and 2 goes away, we don't have a flat threat with number 2. We would match number 1. Collision and carry number 1. Okay, and then in cover 4, right? If we're working cover 4 and we're zoning it, our nickels here, our safeties here, 2 goes away, we would match number 1. This is just a good drill to work the stacks right, just matching the last vertical in your zone. We don't want to cover ground here. He's working the slingshot technique. All right, he's working the slingshot technique. Have our hands low around the waist. All right, and now we can undercut the route here. Different concept. Okay, we get both receivers vertical. All right, I believe this is like a cover 2. I believe this is a cover 2 because he's hinging here. I would say I would be a little bit more outside and I would hinge right away here so that we don't get out leveraged by number 2. Again, I'm assuming this is cover 2, taking away the 7, and then he's hinging right to get to the flat. I just think we get out leveraged a little too fast if this is cover 2. If it is cover 2 is all I'm saying. We get another stack look. 2's on, alert 2 on. All right. So when we in practice, when we say 2 on, that's an alert that 2 is a high probability that 2 is going to get vertical and that 1's going to go shallow underneath. Okay. So like a drive concept, right? We get him here, they go with him here. We need to work from 1 and squeeze 2. Okay. So that's a 2 on alert. Now, here's the drill we've been that I've been waiting to get to. The reason why you guys clicked on this video. All right. So we have the open field tackle drill. This is a great open field tackle drill. This is a must for safeties, an absolute must for middle field safeties, especially. So here's the key. You guys are going to start. Where are we going to start? About 20 yards, 15, 20 yards from the ball carrier. You're going to sprint, long stride, shimmy, short stride. All right. And I'm going to try to mix up my terminology because everybody says something different. Close space or sprint, shimmy or short stride, or come to balance, or break down, okay? So sprinting, we're gonna break down with the short stride, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Okay, once we get about 5 yards from the receiver or from the ball carrier, all right, we're aiming at the near hip. We want to dominate our leverage, own our leverage. We'll talk about that in the game clip. As the receiver works here, we're aiming at the hip. All right, we're making a tackle. Okay, sprint to close space, long stride. Get to the bags, shimmy, break down, ball declares, near hip. All right, run through contact. Sprint, break down. On our leverage, near hip. All right. And we should be inside most of the time. We should be inside most of the time if we're a middle field player, right? All right. And then we want to own our leverage to force him to run at an angle so that we can get a good angle tackle, a good angle on his hip. Okay. Now we're going to go to the game rep. All right. Game rep. We have Taylor Rapp, one of the best safeties. Yeah, he's one of the best safeties because he's consistent. All right, and when you're a starter on multiple teams, like you got to be one of the best safeties. All right, so as a safety, middle field safety, no matter what we see, we got to go backwards. All right, we're middle field safety. Got to help out our corners. We play pass, even though we see run action, even though everything in our mind is telling us it's a run. Okay, we got to work towards the middle of the field until we see that ball handed off. Now look, open field tackle. A hole. We see that hole. All right, everybody's blocked up. We got to make a tackle here. The sooner you close space, the easier the tackle. All right, we can make this a 10-yard open field tackle, a 15 to 20-yard open field tackle, or 5-yard open field tackle, depending on how fast we close space. Now he's closing space on us fast, so we're sprinting. We get a little sprint. Okay, we get a little shimmy, a little breakdown. All right. We're owning our leverage. Like I said, if we're a middle field player and the ball breaks to the perimeter or out slightly outside, all right, through the B gap or C gap, we should have inside leverage. And this is key that we own our leverage because we want to force a good angle, force him to run a V so we can have a clear shot at that near hip and that he doesn't get a two-way go. All right. As we close space and shimmy, he declares for us. Now, just like the green bag was rolling at an angle, all right, keep our eyes low at the hip at the ball level, and we run through the hip. Run through and make a tackle, all right? Just like the drill. Sprint, break down, create an angle, run through the hip, all right? And this is a good example by Caleb Downs right here. It's a little blurry, but Caleb Downs. Okay, the ball declares on the perimeter. You can see him sprinting here. You can see him sprinting to close space. All right, we're breaking down. We're owning our leverage. We want to force a good angle. We force this angle here. Okay, we're 5 yards from him. Now we can key the near hit. I would say we want to run. I want us to take an extra step here. We dive here, but luckily we're able to get him on the ground. All right, but you can see him sprinting. I would say a little bit more sprint. Who knows? He could be tired, right? A little bit more sprint. All right, we break down. We shimmy. Long stride, short stride, own our leverage. We create an angle. Now we have a good key on the hip. I would just like us to run through the hip a little more. But this was a touchdown saving tackle by Caleb Downs, all right? So I hope you guys learned something. If you guys don't already do this drill, all right, it's going to be tough for you to do it by yourself. Actually, no, it's not. You don't need these bags, right? You can just have a cone here, sprint. Once you get to the cone, shimmy, and then just work angles. Sprinting, all right, near hip, near shoulder, or same foot, same shoulder, and running through contact. All right, so like I said, this is the only drill that's not in the DB Mastery program, but I believe I have a drill in there where you can work on it by yourself. If it's not in there, guys, and you want to work it today, okay, sprint, break down, work at downward 45-degree angles. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.